Hello everyone and welcome to Portfolio Updates and Integration, also called PUI. This is a project overview and it is presented by myself, Crystal Barber, the project leader, but also the portfolio specialist here at Oklahoma State University. Let's take a moment and talk about the background of PUI. The portfolio is required by OCTP, which stands for the Oklahoma Commission for Teacher Preparation, and it is required for teacher candidates. It's important to note here that it's not just required here at OSU, but it's also required for all teacher preparation programs. The portfolio guidelines have basically been the same since 2004. There have been some minor changes here and there to the format and some minor changes to the guidelines, but again, basically they've been the same. Candidates have different checkpoints. For example, undergraduate students complete submissions 1, 2, and 3, and graduate students, depending upon their program, will complete a couple submissions. Candidates have to complete the portfolio along with other things before recommendation. In other words, they have to complete the portfolio satisfactorily before we are able to recommend them to the State Department for a teacher certificate. Let's talk about the statement of need and purpose. Currently, the portfolio is not highly supported by all faculty. Currently, the portfolio is more of a checklist of things to do rather than showing evidence of growth. And we really need to look at two things during this project. We need to update the portfolio requirements, and we need to integrate the portfolio components. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in just a few minutes. How can PUI help? Well, first, we can make the portfolio more meaningful for students in doing these things. The second thing is it will help students and faculty work together on their artifacts that they're going to be including within their portfolio. And third is it will assist in applying for teaching positions. Students have the ability to create what's called a visitor's pass and share their portfolio with any prospective employers. So again, there are two main components of this project. First, the portfolio needs to be updated across all programs, and second, the portfolio needs to be integrated in teacher education courses. So there's two main things we're looking at. We're looking at updating it and then integrating it. There are several milestones we need to look at when completing this project. And we'll start at the bottom of this list here. So the first thing that we are doing is planning the project. And you can see by this chart that a significant portion of that has already been completed, and it was able to be completed as we did these documents this semester, which allowed us to plan for the project. The second milestone is meeting with faculty. The third milestone is updating the portfolio. The fourth milestone is integrating the portfolio. And the last milestone, which is more of an ongoing one, is communicating the changes to students and faculty. This is something that will happen each semester, but I think a big part of this milestone, especially the first semester where the changes have started, is communicating those requirements effectively. That will be a big milestone. Okay, this project has an interesting budget in that there's really no outside thing we need to buy. In looking at the budget, the biggest part is just the labor or the salary portions, because this is going to take time, not just from myself, but from faculty, from the associate director, and others. So really it was just estimating the time that we're going to spend in updating and integrating. So that's the biggest portion. And then the second thing that's not really required for the project, but that is required for students, is to buy their live text license. And then we also pay outside reviewers to review the portfolio. So again, the two main portions of the budget are the labor or salary portions and the fees and licenses. We also budgeted in a small amount of money for training, and mainly just any food or beverages that we use during the training. One of the documents we completed in this process was the quality management plan. And in looking at the requirements document that we made, I determined that there are 5 objectives that must be completed in order for this to be a successful project. First, the portfolio specialist will be able to articulate the purpose of this project to faculty. Second, the PEU staff, which is the professional education unit staff, will work with faculty to update portfolio components across all programs. Third, faculty will embed portfolio components into coursework. Fourth, students will be able to include various artifacts from coursework into their portfolio. And last but not least, students will be able to share their portfolio with prospective employers. Like I said earlier, this is an ongoing project, but I did in this process determine several success criteria. So in order for this project to be successful, we need to have new portfolio handbooks online at education.okstate.edu, updated live text templates with new program-specific information. We need to have faculty members embed portfolio components into their course, and there should be evidence of this, such as an oral conversation, a written statement, or requiring a certain artifact to receive course credit. We need to consider having portfolio completion as a requirement prior to receiving an undergraduate or graduate degree. And then lastly, we need to have a survey that is administered at the completion of portfolio to gather data and make improvements. So some final reflection questions. Is this project worth doing? I would say absolutely, considering its potential benefits and making it more meaningful and making it more integrated. And the second question is, will it be successful? I believe it absolutely will be successful, especially with all of the legwork that we've done thus far in creating all of these documents and looking at all the risks and the milestones and in making a quality management plan. So I want to thank you for listening to this presentation, and I wish you the best.